All right. Today we're going to talk about a very important concept when it comes to building the kind of business that we all want to build, a boutique small business that is small but mighty, is very profitable, is very impactful. It serves a small number of clients at the highest levels while building a lifestyle for you that fits you like a glove. So you can be a master at what you do, so you can do exactly what you're put on this earth to do, so you can live your calling while creating the lifestyle that you want. And there's a number of key factors that help us build this type of business. And we've been talking about those. One that I want to talk to you about today that's really important is really being able to package your highest value. What's your highest value to your clients? And how do we package that? Because when you think about building this boutique small business that serves clients at the highest level, one of the biggest factors is how you package and position your expertise, right? Because we're really selling your expertise. We're really trying to figure out, how do we communicate your highest level expertise to the right people so that they get the value from it and that you can build the business you want around it. So packaging your highest value is one of the most important things we can do. One of my favorite quotes is, knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. And that was by Chekhov. Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. And that hints a little bit at how we want to package our value. It hints at the fact that knowledge or information by itself is not your highest value. In fact, the more, we're living in the age of information. There's information overload. There's information everywhere, right? So people can get free information everywhere on YouTube, on Google, on Facebook, on all the social media apps, on all the AI, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, all the information's out there. So it's pretty useless by itself. Another one of my favorite quotes is, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That's by Eleanor Roosevelt. So one of the things that I like about that quote is that it's pointing us in the direction of, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That means that most of us are letting other people define our value. Most of us are going through life allowing other people to define what our highest value is. And that's always going to be undervaluing what we bring to the table. So if we really want to live into our calling and build this kind of boutique business, we have to define the highest value. We have to be the person in charge of defining what that highest value is. So your highest value is not the information you provide. It's not how much time someone spends with you. It's not the amount of calls people get with you, right? None of that defines your highest value to your clients in this type of business. In fact, the less time someone spends with you to get results, to get the transformation they're wanting, to get solutions, the more high value you are, right? If you think about like a book, if a book has 190 pages or 320 pages, and that book gets you a transformation, gives you a solution, there's a certain amount of value. But the highest value book would just be one page. If it could get you the same solution, the same results, a one-page book would be a higher value than a 350-page book, because I'm just giving you only what you need to get results. And the best clients value their time significantly. They don't want to have to go through a million videos. They don't want to have to read a million pages. They don't want to have to sift through all the noise, all the crap to get to the nugget of what they need to get to the solution. So yes, the value of information has went to zero or negative, but that's good for those of us who are real leaders, because information is just part of what we do, a small part. We're going to have to be here. Imagine your clients, your ideal clients at home. What are they doing? They're going through all this information. There's all these different strategies. There's all these different things they could do. It's very overwhelming. It's emotionally draining and overwhelming. And just time wise, it's a big time suck. So, one of our highest values is being able to help people sift through all that or not have to sift through it all and just give them exactly what they need, the solution. What's the solution? Let me give it to you. And let's do it right now. So let's talk about what are some of the lower value ways to package your value. So generic frameworks that anyone could use or Google, that's pretty low value, right? If I say, oh, here's 101 ways you can make money. Here's 101 ways you can lose weight. And I'm just like, you could eat a keto diet. You could eat a vegetarian diet. You could lift weights. You could do cardio. You could run on a treadmill. Um, you could do intermittent fasting. You can drink, lots of water in a day. And I just list all the things you could do to lose weight or to make money or to find a romantic partner. That's going to be very low value. It's generic. You can find that easily. It's really not telling you much. Talking a lot about your superior information is very low value because, again, people are drowning in information. So that's not your highest. You don't want to lead with, I've got the secret to blah, blah, blah. I know exactly how to this, because that's a low value packaging. Courses and videos. It's low value packaging. Again, I'm not saying you're not going to give people any of these things. You're probably going to give people maybe some videos or some written information or a call with you or frameworks. But that's not what you're going to package that's going to blow people away and say, yes, I need to pay thousands of dollars to work with this person. I need to, put aside these other priorities and do this with this person because it's that important. It's that valuable. Weekly one-on-one calls are not that valuable in terms of what you communicate. So I just want to make sure we're separating. We're talking about packaging, which is what are you communicating to clients and to prospects. This is not what you're doing, but what are you communicating? How are you packaging what you're doing? So let's talk about what is your highest value? How do you package it? The highest value you offer to your clients is personal leadership. So your personal leadership is your highest value. It's not your information or how much time they spend with you. It's how impactful you are in their life. It's your personal leadership. So again, information by itself is not valuable. But if you went through all the information there is out there in terms of how to make money or how to save money or how to lose weight or how to find a romantic partner, and you've discovered that there's 3 key components, in your opinion, someone must do to get X or to solve a problem, and you only have to do these 3 things. You could ignore all the rest and just do these 3 things. Now that's getting to be very valuable because you're saving me time, emotional burnout, and frustration from trying all these things. You're helping people not have to do trial and error experimentation to get results. You're just saying, come down this path. Let's do these 3 simple things and let's get you to the solution. But what is that? That's personal leadership. You're leading someone down a path that saves them time, saves them emotional, a bunch of negative emotions, saves them energy, and gets them to the outcome a lot quicker. So here are some of the factors in really high value packaging, big and deep impact. So through your personal leadership, we're going to help people get big wins and be very impactful. And those are the kinds of things we want to be talking about. It's not that you're going to get a 60-minute session with me every week. It's that we're going to do this thing in your life, and your life is going to change in these big and deep ways. And how's it going to happen? Through my personal leadership. I'm going to make sure it happens. You can see that requires a higher commitment on the level of the service provider, right? If I'm just giving you information, I'm just responsible for giving you good information. And then you can do whatever you want with it. It's up to you. Here you go. But if I'm committing to providing you big and deep impact in your life, that's a very different commitment. I have to show up differently. I can't let you use excuses to say why you can't do something, right? I can't let you say that this obstacle got in the way and now you're quitting. I'm going to have to do a lot of what some people would call carefrontations. I'm going to care about you so much. I'm going to have to confront a lot of your fears, doubts, insecurities, excuses, things you normally blame, the things you normally say are obstacles, all those things. We're going to have to confront those things and get you real transformation. Another high value packaging is distillation. It's taking all the things someone could do and distilling it down to just, here's your next step. Here's your next 3 steps. Here are the 3 things we're going to do to get this result. But a lot of times it's just distilling it down to, okay, what's your next most highest impact step? Let's do that. So it's subtraction. It's not addition. We're not adding a bunch of things for people to be doing and thinking about and reading, and we're subtracting all the things they could be reading about and learning and doing and thinking about. We're subtracting all that and just say, focus on this next step. Focus on these 3 things. Another trait of high value packaging is faster results with less time spent in trial and error. If I know exactly how to meet people on a dating app and how to get on dates with high quality people, I can just take you down that path. You don't have to do a bunch of trial and error and try different messages and, try these different things. Well, maybe it's not this app, but I should try this other app. Nope. I'm just going to show you the path. Let's go down the path. You don't have to do any trial and error. Another trait of high value packages, people are learning from your experience, mistakes, and wins versus their own. So they're learning from your experiences, your mistakes, your wins, or your clients' experiences, your clients' wins, your clients' mistakes versus their own. You don't have to go out there and make all these mistakes. You don't have to figure out the best path to lose weight or to save money or to make money, because I have a lot of experience in this area, or I've helped a lot of clients in this area. So I'm going to help you shortcut all that, and you can just learn from my experiences. You can get results based on my experiences. High value packaging is only the information people need to take the next step. It's custom guidance. It's not generic steps. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to give a framework at times for doing something, but it has to be a specific framework for a specific person. It can't just be something everyone could use. Like in business, I don't help people build massive businesses that are mass market, right? So let's say you're communicating what you do to people, and let's say, well, you help mass market businesses, you help Fortune 500s, you help small businesses. I'm going to have to say generic stuff because I help everyone do everything in terms of business. So I have to keep it generic, right? You have to be good at sales. Like, what's generic business advice? You have to be good at marketing. You have to be good at sales. You got to be able to convert people. You got to deliver a great experience to your customers. Like, that's all just generic stuff. But because I know that I'm only helping small businesses build like this boutique service-based business, now I can make frameworks for those people, and it will be specific and custom to them. And then another part of high value packaging is belonging. For someone to feel seen, heard, understood, and gotten by you is very high value. Right? So this is a part of it, right? To really truly understand your clients, where they're at, what their problems are, what the obstacles are, what they're going through, what are their fears, doubts, and insecurities, what are their biggest dreams, what do they really want, and to be able to communicate that to them, it gives people a sense of belonging, like someone gets you, and that's extremely high value. So your highest value is from thinking about it from your perspective is your personal leadership. I'm gonna lead you up the mountain to this outcome that you want. I've been up this mountain 1,000 times. I know where the obstacles are. I know where the pitfalls are. I know what's coming. I know, the weather's going to be bad at times. I know what we're going to do if it gets freezing cold or it starts snowing. I know what we're going to do if it gets really hot and we're starting to get dehydrated, and you don't have to figure that all out on your own. I'm going to lead you up the mountain. And the biggest, highest value packaging from your prospects or clients' perspective is the impact you have in their life. What are the changes that happen in their life as a result of knowing you, of working with you, and being able to communicate those changes, those transformations in someone's life, kind of the before and after of working with you in their life. That's very high value packaging for your services. So it's very important that we don't allow other people to define your highest value. Because if we do, they're going to define your lowest value. People are going to say, and you're going to become a commodity. They're going to be like, okay, well, what do I get? I get 4 calls. How much time do I get to spend with you? And they're going to start looking at things that way. Instead, we want to define and package our highest value to our clients, to our prospects, 'cause that's ultimately how we're going to serve them the best.